Welcome back to Crafternoons. I'm Terry Nelson, and we're at the Zula B. Wiley Public Library coming to you with today's project, which is our Crafternoon, and it's in the bag labeled number 7, which is watercolor techniques with Sharpie marker or black crayon. Okay, let's get started. This Crafternoon was originally kind of mislabeled, so this is where we work with watercolor techniques, Sharpie marker, or crayon, and we're going to do 2. So you should have 2 pieces of watercolor paper in your packet, and get out the paints and the paintbrush from the previous week's Crafternoon because we're going to use those. All right, so you will provide crayons, and they can be any color, all colors, and also you need a marker. It doesn't have to be a Sharpie brand, but a permanent marker is the best for this project. All right, so the first thing that you are going to do is to get your watercolor paper, and you're going to do a drawing on your paper. Now, the fun part is to do it with a white crayon so that you're totally surprised when the effect comes out. You're going to come out with something similar to this if you use a darker color crayon, which is fine because the effect is still there. But if you do it with a white crayon, it's kind of like a magic trick. So you can entertain your family with this one, but I'm just going to use a white crayon for now. And I'll show you the effect of that. You don't have to color it in, but I'm on this particular thing I am. You can make just some shapes. You can make a picture if you can see what you're doing with the white one. If you use the darker crayon, you're going to see it a lot better. And I'm just going to do some random shapes. I want you to use your imagination and do this. So I like lots of random squiggly shapes and stuff, so we're going to do that. But this will give you an idea of how your effects will turn out. All right, so no drawing or anything necessary on that, it's just crayon. The next thing we do is we move on to our watercolors. You can use whatever watercolors, you can use every watercolor that you have. Once again, be sure that you saturate the paint with water, rub it in there a little bit, and then you're going to start. Now, wherever you colored with the crayons is going to show up, just like magic. So you can use any number of colors on this. I'm just going to kind of do a variety, but you see as I continue, the shapes are showing up. And as it dries, it's going to be even more visible. And whenever you're doing things like this, you know, use your imagination. Don't be afraid to try. You don't have to use watercolor paper. If you don't have that at home, you can use other kinds of paper. You can use cardstock, construction paper works. But you're just going to continue on, and as you see, you're starting to see the lines appear. And allow yourself to be forgiven. If you don't like the way it turns out, then let it dry and flip it over and do it again on the other side. This is a learning process. Any artist has had so many fails. They'll tell you that you know, that's how they get to learning the techniques that they have. So see how it's starting to come out. I'm getting some interesting marks in my paper that make it look like a dragon over here. So we're just having fun with it. So just continue that way. You can see how the lines are beginning to show up. And eventually you'll arrive to something like this. And what I did on this was just simply, I drew the tree with a brown crayon, I put some leaves in, I drew my buildings, and then my little bits of yellow, and the moon, and then I did the watercolors over that. So once the watercolors start to dry, then the drawing that you made really starts to come out. All right, so we're going to move on to the next technique, which is this one. And this one I had a lot more fun with because I was able to draw, and I was able to you know, just color random patterns on the paper. So basically you can do whatever colors. It does not have to look, and I hope it won't look exactly like mine. What you want to do is just put some colors on your paper until it's dry. It's important that it does dry completely. So I did this one this morning real quick. This is just random patterns, just taking, and I'll show you a little bit how you can get this technique, is just taking your colors and blending them. So here's a little bit of yellow. It's not showing up probably real well in this video, but just get some yellow and then add another color to it. Let's say you want to do some red for contrast, and just let them blend a little bit like that. And you're going to come out, don't, you know, worry about the borders on your colors. You can just join them together. We've got some green, and the colors are going to blend. It's going to look really pretty until it turns out where you have all kinds of different colors on your page. All right, so let that dry completely. Like I mentioned before, that's the important thing. And now you can start drawing on your paper. You can do anything you want. On this one that I did flowers. So let's just say you want to do a flower. It's just real simple. Just draw flowers. Or if you want to draw animals or people or dinosaurs or whatever you want to draw. I like it because the colors make it pop behind the black, like that. So just make your flowers or whatever you choose. And complete your picture. And it's frameable art, just like your other pictures. So have fun with it, enjoy it, and have an awesome day.